Hello, my name is Nathan Taylor, otherwise known as Sockmatician, and this is a video to accompany the Sockmatician's Double Knitted Brioche ebook. This particular video shows how to work multiple branch increases into the same pair of stitches. A branch increase, as we said before, is one where a column of knit stitches branches into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or theoretically any number you can imagine, all coming out of the same parent stitch, and the same is true for both sides of the work. The branch increase is always worked into the left-hand side of a column of knit stitches. So in order to create the branch coming out of this column here, the first thing I need to do is work that pair of double knitted brioche stitches, giving us the right-hand branch of the fork up front. So this now is the parent stitch here. And in order to start this, I'm going to take my pearl coloured yarn just out of the way there, so I can get my needle going in behind the yarn over that sits around the shoulders of the parent stitch and the left shoulder of the parent stitch itself. So I just go in purlwise from left to right and from back to front like that. Then I need to bring that yarn to the front again so that I can then work my pair of double knitted brioche stitches into that one there. So initially I knit those two strands together through the back legs because that's the way it's mounted on the needle, so it's presenting itself to me. Then I work the yarn over maneuvers by taking the pearl coloured yarn to the back over the top of the right needle and to the front, coming between the two needles, and bring the knit coloured yarn to the front, coming between the two needles. Then I need to do the same, working into the parent pearl stitch on the back of the work. So I need to tilt my work forwards. Oops, lost that there. You just tilt my work forwards there. It's a lot easier to do this when you're not trying to keep it on camera. And then I'm going to put the left needle underneath that yarn over and into the leg of the parent pearl stitch like so. Then I can come back to the front and just purl into that stitch with my pearl coloured yarn and take my knit coloured yarn to the back of the work to complete the pair. That's given me one branch increase, but now I want to work a second branch increase into exactly the same places. So I'm going to take that yarn to the back of the work again, keeping it out of the way. Then I'm going to identify the same yarn over and the same parent stitch and go in like so, just as if I were doing this for the first time, but obviously it's the second time. Bring my pearl coloured yarn to the front, ready to begin the knitting proper. Then I'm going to knit into those two strands of yarn together through the back legs, because that's how the stitches are mounted on the needle, like so. Work the maneuvers with the yarn overs, coming back over the needle and to the front between the two and to the front between the two, then tilting the work towards me again, identifying the same spot as before, that top yarn over strand there and that just there, that's the left hand leg of the parent pearl stitch. Coming back to the front, I can then purl into those two strands with my pearl coloured yarn, and we are good to go once that knit coloured yarn has been taken to the back of the work. Now I can continue doing that as many times as I like. I've actually done it with 5 so far. I've never gone further than that. Things get a little bit tight and a little bit bunched up there after a while, but it's nothing to worry about. As we come back to that on the other side of the work, you'll see it's all very straightforward. So let me now carry on to the end of the row, and I will join you when I'm ready to work the stitches over the top of that multiple branch increase. Here I am then, just approaching the spot where we made the multiple branch increase on the other side of the work, and you'll get a chance to see what it looks like when you return to it in just a second. Here we are. So this is the collection of stitches we're talking about. It looks like it's a bit of a mess, but actually it will all work itself out. There's one stitch and it's yarn over, so let's dispense with that first of all. Knitting into it with my knit coloured yarn, work the yarn over maneuvers, and then the next two strands are the pearl stitch in brown with its blue yarn over. So I purl into those two strands together and take my knit coloured yarn to the back of the work. Look at that. There's the middle knit stitch with its yarn over, ready to be worked into. Yarn over maneuvers, and look, there we go, purling into those two next strands there. And then the final knit stitch of the 3, yarn over maneuvers, purling into the last two strands like so, taking the knit coloured yarn to the back of the work. And there you can see already that we've got 3 knit stitches coming out of 1 parent stitch. If we turn the work over, the same is true on the back, 3 knit stitches coming out of 1 parent stitch. A couple more rounds of work into the top of those and everything is going to be as neat as you could hope for. And that's all you need to know about the multiple branch increases in double knitted brioche.
Zip!